Okay.
It's on you.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diamond Gray. I've been working for One Summer Chicago and Phalanx Family Services for the past 4 years. I found out about Phalanx Family Services through a close friend that was working here at the time, and she informed me about the multiple programs that Phalanx offered. So that's how I ended up being in connection to One Summer Chicago. I appreciate One Summer Chicago for offering me opportunities to work on my summers home from college. Over the years, I've had the chance to enhance my networking, clerical, and networking skills. Since I do plan on owning multiple businesses in one day, I do feel like it is key to possess those skills, and I have One Summer Chicago to thank for that. Summer 2021 is approaching, and although I know everything won't be back completely normal, Summer 2021 is approaching, and although I know everything won't be back completely normal, I am excited about the direction we're moving towards. I am also excited since COVID-19 has taken a toll on everyone. I am excited to be returning to in-person activities this year. And with that, I would like to introduce our mayor, Lori E. Lightfoot.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here at Phalanx. I was here and remembering that I was here during the strike when Alderman Austin was kind enough to really gather a group of parents and students who were concerned about their future. So it's great to be back here. And I just want to really say thank you so much for all the support that you provide here in this community. You're a very important anchor, and I'm glad that you're going to be part of the My Shine, My Future family. So thank you. Let me also recognize others who are here, some here and some hiding in the back of the room. Come on up, Mary Ellen. CPS CEO Dr. Janice Jackson, Chicago Park District Superintendent Mike Kelly, Chicago Public Library Commissioner Chris Brown, Mayor's Office of People with Disabilities Commissioner Rachel Arfa, Chicago Department of Transportation Commissioner Gia Biaggi, CHA CEO Tracy Scott, Department of Family and Support Services Deputy Commissioner for Youth Services, that is a mouthful, Rebecca Estrada. City Colleges of Chicago Chancellor Juan Salgado, is he here?
He's here.
All right, you can't, folks, you can't hide in the back. Yeah. I'm gonna call you out. Phalanx CEO Tina Sanders. Come on up, come on down. I feel like Bob Barker. Come on down. Mary Ellen Karen of After School Matters, and of course my wife, First Lady Amy Eshelman. It's a great understatement to say that 2020 tested us in unimaginable ways, forcing us to find new ways to connect and work with one another, as well as new ways to learn and have fun. And by no means was this transition to the new normal easy for any of us. But for our young people, whose very development centers around enriching in-person opportunities to connect, work, learn, and play with others, it's been especially difficult. I know that not only as a mother of a 13-year-old and watching our daughter over this very challenging year, but also as a mayor who has heard many other parents and caregivers talk about the challenges that the pandemic has presented for their children. Now, we launched My Shine, My Future about a year ago in the quiet of the stay-at-home of COVID. My Shine, My Future seeks to ensure that every young person in Chicago, regardless of zip code or identity, participates in a robust out-of-school experiences that the city and our 77 communities have to offer. Experiences that enable youth to explore their interests, discover their passions, and determine what their future paths will be because they have an array of opportunities to experience and enjoy. Experiences that connect young people to peers with similar passions and introduce them to caring adults who become mentors and key members of the team. And let me just say again, as someone said to me, our young people are a product of the adult ecosystem around them. These positive peers and caring adults outside of the home become the cheerleaders and dream capers for our youth as they grow into all that they can be, especially during times of adversity and struggle. We have to stand tall for them. Our children are coming out of such a time. COVID-19 rendered our children and youth feeling isolated, in their rooms on Zoom, disconnected. And for many, this opened the door to disconnection, depression, and anxiety. Given how torturous this year has been for our young people, and that we are making steady progress in our COVID-19 journey every day, thanks to vaccines becoming more widely available and now offering it to children as young as 12, it's essential that we create pathways for them to get out of the house, to re-engage in person, and rediscover their interests and passions this summer. That's why my team, along with city departments and sister agencies, the Mayor's Youth Commission, and community-based partners in the My Shy, My Future family, like Phalanx, are here today to announce Rediscover Summer, a new awareness campaign that will highlight the over 200,000, let me say that again, the over 200,000 opportunities we have in store for our young people this summer. We know, as parents and mentors and others who care about young people, when young people spend their time doing things they're interested in alongside positive peers and caring adults, not only are they less likely to find themselves with limited positive choices, but they're also given a safe space to develop their talents and chase their dreams. All of our city's youth, no matter their circumstances, deserve to have access to this kind of nurturing, out-of-school environment. And this summer, we're going to make that a reality. We have more than 200,000 opportunities available for young people this summer. These opportunities fall under the umbrella of My Shy, My Future and include a host of programs offered to children, youth, and their families this summer. And I want to tell you about some of these, and you'll hear from others. But I also want to urge, if you're an adult who cares for youth, whether you're a mom, a dad, an auntie, a grandparent, whatever it is, head to myshyMyfuture.com. That's myshyMyfuture.com on your phone or device and see the programs that are wide open for young people this summer. Programs like One Summer Chicago, led by our Department of Family and Support Services. The Teen Summer Kickback Series, co-led by our Park District. The Summer Learning Challenge, led by the Chicago Public Libraries. Green Corps, a program I'm particularly excited about, and that's a program run by our Department of Transportation. The CHA's Youth Corps, which enables young people to partner in positive ways with the police department and their filmmaking program at DePaul. And 93,000 additional academic opportunities provided by CPS alone. This summer, our young people will have access to the newly redesigned Learning Lab at the Chicago Cultural Center. And the Learning Lab is an interactive studio space for all that will be hosting workshops by and for youth this summer, as well as displaying artwork by youth all summer. City colleges will be piloting a new program in partnership with One Summer, One Chicago and the Department of Aviation. Very excited about this program. This program will invite rising juniors and seniors to learn workforce skills through training, professional development, workshops, and hands-on experience with airport operations. And that's not all. Our Assets Information and Services Department, AIS, has a summer fishing program that they will provide in partnership with the Park District. And the Public Health Department is bringing back Play Streets with both live events for young children and their families, as well as activity kits that can be used at home. Now, I want to take a moment to highlight One Summer, One Chicago. One Summer, One Chicago is a youth employment program that is integral part of My Shy, My Future. Last summer, we didn't shut our summer employment program down that many cities did across the country. No, instead, we kept it going. And as a result, it became the largest youth summer employment program in the entire nation, employing over 200,000 young people. And our community-based organizations also stepped up and engaged youth through virtual programming that provided in-depth insight, resources, and guidance as they pursued careers in the fields represented by the host companies participating in the program. And on top of that, we launched the first ever Chicago Youth Services Corps, CYSC, last year, a program that enabled youth to respond to COVID-19 in their own ways in service of their communities and individuals at need. Whether it be by becoming social distance ambassadors, making masks, producing podcasts, or addressing food insecurity in their communities, these young people did that and more, and they should be commended. Now, our Youth Services Corps has become a year-round job program and will continue this summer, enabling thousands of young people to continue to contribute to their communities, now with an additional focus on vaccine uptake. Now, pivoting back to One Summer Chicago, this program will run from July 5th to August 13th and will include remote and socially distanced in-person job and life skills training for young people ages 14 to 24. And it literally runs the gamut of interests, from coding, tech, healthcare, media, and so much more. Applications went online on March 26th. They're open until June 11th. So please, if you are interested in getting a job this summer, go to One Summer Chicago and apply. This summer, One Summer Chicago is offering, as I said, over 23,000 paid opportunities. Paid, emphasis on paid. So if you are a Chicagoan between the ages of 14 and 24, don't hesitate. Go to onesummerchicago.org. That's onesummerchicago.org. And to check out the other programs that I've talked about tonight or today, and you'll hear about more, go to myshinymyfuture.org. Each and every one of these opportunities we are offering will be available to all youth and accessible to youth with disabilities. Because in order to help our youth have the most enriching summer possible, we must do our part to provide any and all accommodations and dismantle barriers to participation, and we're doing just that. Now, as you can tell by the number of people that are here today, we're making sure that we create the village for our young people this summer. It's absolutely essential that we stand up and we stand tall for them and give them ways to positively connect, to pursue their passions, and we will do just that. As I said before, we've got to be that positive ecosystem around and supporting and loving our young people. And we all have a role to play when it comes to ensuring their physical, emotional, and social well-being. We can't stop. They need us now more than ever. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Chicago Park District Superintendent and a guy who really understands and lives, breathes, and supports our young people in everything that he does, Superintendent Mike Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm usually fairly brief at these, but I'm going to talk for a minute today. I got a lot to say. It's an exciting time, and I grabbed the worst mask today, so I'm going to take advantage of breathing for a minute here. I can barely breathe through this thing. So thank you, Mayor, and thank all of our colleagues. We're all in this together. There's a lot of folks in this. We're all sharing. These are all our kids, and let's face it, you don't make change in this city if you don't all roll up your sleeves and jump in together to make a difference in these kids' lives. From the Park District standpoint, we really do believe the youth are the cornerstone of our mission. It's early childhood all the way through our teen clubs to our camps. We have an endless amount of opportunities for young people to discover, engage, and grow through recreation. It's in just a few weeks, probably a month, parks across the city are going to start welcoming children into our summer camps, 6 to 12, and it's called Summer of Possibilities. Campers will they'll enjoy the arts, fitness, outdoor play. They're going to have a focus this year on civic engagement, environmental awareness, inclusion, and reflection. But that's not all. We're also going to offer specialized camps for teens, ages 13 to 15. We're going to launch 10 teen lounges. So these are within our field houses, and these teen lounges, they're going to offer Wi-Fi, video games, computers, other activities, and probably what they want most of all, no adults really in their face. It's unstructured activity, and for years the teens have been clamoring for a safe space to go where adults aren't hovering over them asking, hey, what can we do for you? So we're looking forward to that. As the mayor said, we're also hosting the Summer Kickback Series. These are teen-focused celebrations. They're going to start on Friday evenings, July 9th through August 27th. They're going to be in parks along with other community-based organizations. And again, it's where teens can go, they can be safe, they can gather. We're going to have food, music, there'll be esports and other activities, and we will announce those locations very soon. Back to summer day camp, registration is right now. We have roughly 3,200 spaces still available. And we have about 17,000 spaces available for our non-summer day camp programs for kids. So please, parents out there, caregivers, there are still opportunities to sign your kids up to register. The mayor threw a lot of different sites, but if you can't find us, just go to chicagoparkdistrict.com. You can find your way through all our camps and our summer programs. Look, 2021 brings a unique set of challenges to us as we sort of reopen the door. But we know what our role is. Chicago is in the quality of life business, and the Park District is at the forefront of that. My job and the job of my team is to make sure family and kids have as many opportunities and the best experience they can have, especially in the summer, in this city. So again, I want to thank public schools, libraries, DFSS, After School Matters, and everybody who's here, because we're all in this together. And it's our job to get it done this summer. So, summer jobs, that's another big reason why we're here, right? Summer jobs. So 16 and older, we have lots of jobs that pay really good money, great experiences. Please apply. Our applications are still open till May 30th. 3,000 seasonal jobs we're offering. Rec leaders, lifeguard, junior laborers. If you're out there and you're looking for something for your young one to do, please go to chicagoparkdistrict.com and grab one of these jobs. They're great jobs, they earn a good buck, and they're in their neighborhoods giving back to their community. I mean, it really, please take advantage of that. That's chicagoparkdistrict/jobs.com. Again, the deadline is the 30th. I do want to say on the job, by the way, I want to thank the mayor, I want to thank the local electeds, and I want to thank our congressional delegation. There's a lot of discussion about youth jobs at the federal level, and certainly from the urban park side of this thing, not only in Chicago but across the country. This hasn't happened in a long time. Conservation corps, youth service jobs. This is really going back to some great programs at the federal level that existed a long time ago and have been dormant for a long time. So I wish them all the success on that. Of course, I'm biased and I'm a bit of a cheerleader for the Park District, but I would be remiss if I didn't announce that we were selected again as a finalist for the gold medal. This is in partnership with the Academy. Thank you. To those who you don't know what that is,
it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's in partnership with the American Academy of Park and Rec and the National Recreation and Park Association. It's essentially our Stanley Cup, our World Series. It's our Super Bowl. So to give you perspective in a football metaphor, in the last 4 football seasons, we've been to the Super Bowl 3 of the last 4 seasons, and we have a chance to win 2 Super Bowls. So that's about as good as it gets. Lastly, we're getting closer to normal, so I want to just make some quick plugs. This Saturday, May 22nd, Buckingham Fountain will return. It will be back on. Friday, May 28th, we will reopen our beaches. We are going to have an incredible night out in the park season. Concerts are starting to come back online. Our festivals are coming back online. And again, jobs, and opportunities. I hope to see all the youth, all the families in our parks this summer, whether you're at the day camp or you're at a day at the beach or you're on the job. Please go to our website, check us out. We have a lot to offer you this summer. And that's it. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Commissioner Chris Brown of the Chicago Public Libraries.
Thank you, Mike. No Super Bowl metaphors for me, though.
Not yet.
I'm so thrilled to be here today to announce the exciting happenings at our local Chicago Public Libraries this summer. Starting today, in support of Open Chicago, our libraries will be resuming their pre-COVID branch hours, opening more time for busy Chicago families to find that next book, that next movie, that bedtime story, and spend time in our early literacy spaces, more time with critical Wi-Fi and technology access. For our young people, this means your beloved U Media spaces will be open with safe capacities, limits, and giving them a chance to explore their interests and passions. And to support Chicago's youth, the library will be employing over 200 interns, even more than our pre-COVID numbers. 50 paid interns will be serving as My Shy, My Future ambassadors, helping their peers navigate and locate summer opportunities. Additionally, our library branch staff will be trained as My Shy, My Future navigators and on hand to help families rediscover summer in Chicago. This year, our Summer Learning Challenge for all ages is focused on art and art making. And for the first time in our Summer Learning Guide, participants will be receiving a free pass to the Art Institute of Chicago. And additionally, you're going to be able to come to your local branch to receive a free copy of the children's book, Parker Looks Up. This book tells the story of a young child themselves going to visit the Obama portraits, which are now on view at the Art Institute. And we want to thank the Art Institute and the Obama Foundation for making this possible. Kids and families will, of course, need lots of energy for all this learning, so we're excited to announce our continued partnership with Greater Chicago Food Depository, offering free summer meals to our libraries. I'd like to thank Mayor Lightfoot for leading during such unprecedented times and for this day of hope and optimism, and for being a champion for all Chicagoans having the opportunity to read, learn, and discover. I'd also like to thank Chicago Public Library Foundation and their president, Brenda Langstrat. Our sought-after Summer Learning Challenge would not be possible without your philanthropic support. And I'd like to recognize and thank our lead funder for our summer programs, our funders Amazon and Sarah Glavin, who's with us today. Thank you, Sarah. Who is a longtime library enthusiast herself. Sarah, we're so grateful for your support and commitment to our city's libraries and our city's youth. And to Allstate for their continued lead sponsorship of U Media. These programs would not be possible without your support. I think as we all recognize, libraries, parks, and schools, they're all community hubs and really the heartbeats of our neighborhoods, which means that the people of Chicago are essential for fulfilling our mission. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you at our libraries this summer. And with that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Janice Jackson to say a few words.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Yep, I want to start by just thanking Mayor Lightfoot, but also acknowledging how important today is. I know this kind of convergence of all of the city's resources to support and serve our students is part of your vision from the beginning. I remember over a year ago having a meeting with Sybil, Amy, and we were talking about doing this, so to see this come to fruition is really important. I also think it's important that we are serving students across a continuum. What you heard throughout all of these speeches, we talked about serving students from birth to pre-K all the way through high school, and I want to highlight some of the programs that Chicago Public Schools will be offering. But first, I want to just really lift up the message that Mayor Lightfoot said earlier, which is that we're offering over 200,000 opportunity for youth. That means if you want a job, if you want something to do, we have something for you to do in Chicago in Chicago. Reach out to the school system, the park district, et cetera, whatever point of contact you have, but it isn't often that we're able to say that, and I feel incredibly proud that we can say that during the summer of 2021. The first thing I want to highlight is that we have received additional funding through the ART program from the federal government, and we've pushed those funds out to our schools to support out-of-school time. And so you will see a variety of programming, either new programming or expanded programming throughout the summer that will allow us to support over 90,000 students. This starts with our earliest, our youngest students with our preview to preschool, which is one of my favorite names, kickoff to kindergarten programs, or you may be thinking about how we're going to support some of the transitions for many of our students. We know it's going to be a heavy lift to get our students back in school, which is why our transition to 9th grade program, which is something that we valued for years, we're going to expand the offerings for that program for many of our 9th graders. And because many of our freshmen this year have never set foot in the high school that they attend, we're also expanding that to current 9th graders, rising 10th graders over the summer, which is something that we're incredibly proud of. We are thrilled to celebrate this milestone with our students because through COVID-19 and the pandemic, our kids have lost so much. So this opportunity to reimagine summer really brings us closer to our vision for supporting all of our students. But we're also working with students across that continuum, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm excited to talk about a partnership that we have with city colleges, which we talk about that all the time, and my colleague Juan Salgado knows a lot about this as well. We're going to be supporting over 1,400 CPS graduates this summer who are going to enroll in city colleges, and we're going to be supporting them through that transition. We're also going to be using our post-secondary navigators that are employed with the city colleges to support thousands of students to make sure that the plans that they're creating now with their teachers and counselors will be the actually plans that materialize in the fall when we hope to see them enroll in school, whether that's a 2-year college or a 4-year university. And we're also encouraging our students to look at other opportunities such as military service, career and technical programming, and others. So I want to thank all of my colleagues on the Education and Human Services team led by Deputy Mayor Sybil Madison, who we've worked hard on this. As Mike said, we're all rolling up our sleeves. We're all in this together. And I believe that we're all taking similar steps, some small, some big. But when we do it all together, we're going to make sure this is a safe and productive summer for the youth here in Chicago. So I want to say congratulations to everyone on achieving this milestone, and I look forward to our students reimagining summer this year. Thank you.
And with that, happy to take your questions.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good afternoon. I saw you on MSNBC yesterday, and I know that you've been vaccinated and that you have trusted the science and the data from the CDC all along. You've adhered to it. Why now do you not trust Dr. Fauci and what their new guidelines are when it comes to vaccinated people and wearing masks indoors and outdoors?
Well, it's not that I don't trust them. I do. And we have been consistently following the guidance and then obviously adapting it to the unique circumstances that we have in Chicago. But I think the announcement last week regarding masks has left people a bit confused. And so what I'm saying is I think we need from the CDC some clarification on what that means, because I know that I've been fully vaccinated, as has my wife and others, but we don't know in any given setting who has been fully vaccinated. And I will just say for myself, I will continue to wear my mask, certainly in indoors, but also in certain outdoor spaces when I don't know the people that I'm around, whether they've been fully vaccinated or not. I think that's the point. It's great to say you don't need to wear a mask if you're fully vaccinated, but that raises a whole set of questions that I think perhaps they didn't clearly anticipate. So I think some clarification is needed, and I expect that to be coming soon.
Okay, and then when we get to phase 5, do you see lifting the mask mandate? Because we're on the bridge right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, the goal here is to get as many people vaccinated as possible. And overall in our city, we only have about 38% people vaccinated. A higher number if you factor in the adults that are actually eligible, but we still have a long way to go in really hitting, I think, that critical mass, or if you will, that herd immunity, because people are vaccinated. So I don't want to have people lulled into a false sense of security that simply because some folks are vaccinated that it's all good and we don't need to do anything more. We have a lot more that we can do. And I think what you're going to see, certainly over the course of the summer and fall, and maybe even going into next year, other opportunities to incentivize folks to get vaccinated, whether it's special entry to restaurants, places of entertainment, outdoor venues, maybe even sports attractions. But the goal here from across the board, whether it's the government, whether it's a private sector, is we want people to be vaccinated so we can all feel safe.
Okay, question for Dr. Jackson. I was just wondering, since the guy, we're on the bridge now, is there any way to have, sensible adjustments when it comes to CPS crowds outdoors? Because I know a lot of principals are planning their graduation, and we have 500 students at our school, so they have to have 5 separate graduations. If everyone's masked, is there any, and spread out, is there any way we could change that capacity limits outdoors for CPS and indoors from 50 to say 100?
I think what we've put out is in alignment with what has come from IDPH and so in the governor. So we want to stay in alignment with that and make sure that we can invite the right number of graduates plus their families. Look, last year our students did not have any version of an in-person graduation, and our principals have been incredibly creative in offering those opportunities. And I'm just as anxious as the next person to see a return to normal, and hopefully that's where we are next year. But I think our students are feeling pretty good about the opportunities. Look, we just started proms last weekend. They were all over social media. So there's a return to normal, but to the mayor's point, we will do this in a way that is smart. It'll be gradual and it's going to be safe, but I think that our schools have done an amazing job offering those opportunities, and if we return to normal next year, that's great, but this year we want to make sure we're proceeding, but that we're also careful.
Can we start with on-topic questions too?
Pardon?
On topic questions, can you start with those?
Go ahead.
I guess I'm not exactly sure if mine is on topic or off. Am I on?
You're
Okay,
on.
Sarah Burnett, AP. We're approaching the midway point of your term.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know you. Can you identify yourself?
Sarah Burnett from the AP, Associated Press.
All right, got it.
Sorry, back from parental leave. We're approaching the midpoint of your first term. I'm wondering if you can share with us how you feel you have performed and any reaction to comments we've seen of late, criticism that you have not followed through on some of the promises that you made during the campaign.
Yeah, we'll have a lot more to say about that later this week. The 2-year mark is this Thursday. Look, I'm a tough grader, and I'm never satisfied. Keeping in mind that no one thought, and least of all me, that I'd be coming into office and facing a global pandemic that would really upend a lot of what we had hoped to accomplish. I think what you'll see as we roll this out is we've done a heck of a lot. And if we weren't in mixed company, I'd use a different word. I'm extraordinarily proud of what because it's not just me, but I'm extraordinarily proud of what we've done, even facing a global pandemic, a massive economic meltdown and dislocation, as well as civic unrest. You put all those things together and look back through your history book, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another mayor that's faced all of these challenges at once within about a 12-month, and really, if we're honest, about a 6-month time period. The people who work for the city of Chicago, the employees, have done a heck of a job. They have persevered. They have shown up. They've sacrificed. They put themselves on the line. I'm unbelievably proud of the things that they and we have been able to accomplish. And as I said, I don't spend a lot of time patting myself on the back, and I'm certainly not taking a victory lap. But I know that we have done really great work. First and foremost, doing everything we could from the minute that the pandemic hit our shores to make sure that we are saving people's lives. No easy decisions, not one. But I'm proud of the work that we've done in partnership with a lot of different organizations and individuals across the city. And look, the reality is I'm the mayor. I'm the target. People are unhappy. People are angry. And criticism comes with the job. But what I do is I make sure that I live my values every single day. And I go to sleep at night comforted in the knowledge that every day I have worked my tail off for the residents of the city, and I will continue to every day.
This may not be the venue where you want to answer this question, but have you made a firm decision yet about seeking re-election?
No, it's way, 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 way too soon to talk about anything like that. Let me get to the 2-year mark, and maybe you should actually ask my wife that question.
Hi, Mayor. We turn this up? There we go.
Yeah.
This morning, Superintendent Brown also joined with some of the folks who are here talking about summer efforts, but he also mentioned that as we're coming out of the pandemic, there are some concerns about large gatherings, pop-up parties, which can lead to violence. He touched a little bit on the summer violence plan, But what has been your directive to him, and what kind of summer are you preparing for post-pandemic when it comes to violence?
Well, look, I mean, pre-pandemic, we were concerned about large crowds because unfortunately, they can oftentimes, depending on where they are, be a magnet for shootings or other kinds of violence. So that's not a new thing that is occasioned simply because of the pandemic. We started our preparations for summer safety months ago. And as with everything, I hope you understand that this administration does, we are taking a whole of government approach to that. And we'll detail it in more, but in short strokes, we follow the data. We're looking at the places across our city where we know, based upon historical crime data, that we are most challenged. And as a consequence, not only is the police department going to be placing additional emphasis on some of those places, but every single city department that you see up here and more has been working in interdisciplinary groups now for weeks to look at these areas, understand the assets and opportunities that we have on the ground, and flooding those areas with support and resources, primarily focused at our young people, but also their families. Because we know that if you're really going to get to the nub of the problems that create violence, you've got to look at the source. And what we see across many of these communities that are most plagued by violence is the absence of resources and jobs and hope. And so our goal is to be present in a tangible way with resources in these communities so that we are showing the residents that they're not alone, that they've not been abandoned, that we are there for them in partnership with the city, with the private sector, community-based organizations, and others. That's what I think we will do and make a tangible difference in the lives of those residents in those communities that are way, way too challenged by violence. But as I said, we'll talk more about that in the coming days.
If I could just follow up, are you concerned that with all this, the pent-up pandemic feelings, that with people now feeling like they're coming out of it, that it could be the kind of summer that is going to be real challenging when it comes to violence?
Well, look, we've seen, not just in Chicago, but really across the country, New York, LA, San Francisco, Atlanta, Dallas, Washington, D.C., Detroit, every major city in the country has seen an uptick in violence. And it's for a number of reasons, and I won't go into the normal explanation that I do about the ecosystem, but fundamentally, every part of the public safety ecosystem, from law enforcement to the courts to prosecutors to the community-based organizations, has been dramatically affected by COVID-19. And we're just starting to see many of those resources that are usually present to support individuals and family come back online. But not every part of that ecosystem is 100% there. We have never left, and we're never going to leave, but we need our partners to be part of this journey with us. And so that's some of the work that we are doing across the city, across the county, across the state, and with our federal partners. But we've got to strengthen these communities by flooding them with resources.
One just follow up on the crime. The police saying 48 people were shot this weekend, among them 2 cops and 6 juveniles. Can you just weigh in on what this weekend has been?
Look, it's a hard weekend, obviously. I spoke yesterday about the officers who responded to a shot spotter alert, were in full uniform, see someone with a gun, announce their office, and try to get him to stop, and he turns and he fires on them. Luckily, we're not standing here today talking about the death of 2 police officers, which we could easily be doing, and it's a reminder to us that our police officers every single day make sacrifices to keep our communities safe. So I'm grateful that both of those young men, and they were young, were able to be treated and released yesterday. But it's a dangerous job that they have, and they run to danger to protect us. But fundamentally, we have to stop the flow of illegal guns in our city. We are going to continue to fight this fight, but it's something that the federal government has to do. The federal government is uniquely qualified to do things like pass a common sense background check, You've heard me say this before. The fact that you can't get on a plane because you're a threat, but you can purchase an unlimited amount of firearms anywhere is lunacy. It makes no sense whatsoever. And where we are situated, close to Indiana and to other states that have very loose laws around who can buy guns and what quantity, those guns end up on our streets, right here in this community and others that are plagued by violence. So we need the federal government to step up. I've urged the U.S. Attorney, for example, to form a multi-jurisdictional task force on gun trafficking and straw purchasing. That is something, again, that the federal government is uniquely qualified to do. And I know they're doing something, but it needs to be bigger. It needs to be bolder, because every single day lives depend on it. Already this year, the Chicago Police Department has taken over 4,100 illegal crime guns off the street. We are on pace to break another record. It's not a record we want to break. What we want is to see the decrease in the number of illegal firearms that are available, particularly available to kids. We're seeing too many petty fights. And Dr. Jackson, you know this, too many petty fights playing out on social media, ending up with somebody, a kid, pulling a gun. Too many instances in which children are in the cars with adults who are engaged in the life, and guess what? They get shot at, and who gets shot? The child. Enough has got to be enough, but it depends upon us stepping up and saying we are not going to tolerate this anymore in our city, but we need the federal support to really make a meaningful difference. And I'm hoping that the Biden administration not only listens to me and hears me as the mayor of the city, but is listening to mayors all across the country who are struggling with the same challenges. We need to have common sense gun reform, period.
Amy has the last question.
Yeah, Mayor Lightfoot, this is from one of our colleagues, asking about the travel order and does it go away?
Not yet, but soon. And I think Dr. Arda will have more to say on that. Obviously, we're seeing progress being made across the country, but the primary purpose of the travel order is to equip members of the public with tools that they need. We've already made a number of adjustments, both in terms of the states that are on versus off, but also making accommodations for people who are getting vaccinated, that they don't have to go through the quarantine procedure that they previously had to without the vaccination. But I think that some form of the order is still necessary because it forms, I think it performs a very valuable function in educating the public. All right, thank you all.